What's up, guys? I'm CS. I'm back doing my main card picks for UFC 126 Silva versus Belfort. So, people, what we got here, really important night of fights in terms of shaking the divisions up, because that's really what this night is going to do. Besides the title fight, which should be fire, the main card looks unreal. Okay, we got two light heavyweight fights here that, involve people who maybe in your opinion guys might be all in the top 10, so this should shake things up there, and yeah, we'll see what happens. We also have a fight between Carlos Eduardo Rocha and Jake Ellenberger in welterweight, which I like because GSP needs some contenders, and throwing these guys on the main card, they deserve it. And then we have someone like Miguel Angel Torres, former bantamweight king. He's going to set the pace for the main card with Antonio Benuelos. So that bantamweight bout should be fire. Can't wait to see that. Can't wait for that to start off the pay-per-views. But you know what? Preliminary card, unreal as well. I don't know what they're going to throw on Ion or Spike or Versus, but you know what? That free shit should be fire. I have a feeling that one of my favorite fighters is going to be on one of those the Spike or Ion or Versus cards. I'm pretty sure they're going to throw that fight on there. I'm talking about Kid Yamamoto, one of my favorite fighters. So I'd like to see what he can do on American soil. But yeah, let's quickly get to my first pick of the main card here. We have a bout between Miguel Angel Torres and Antonio Benuelos. Like I said already, it's a bantamweight. All right, guys, now here we go. Let's take a look at Miguel Angel Torres first. Of course, former WEC bantamweight champion. This guy was on top of his game for a while until the emergence of dudes like Brian Bowles, Dominic Cruz, Joseph Benavidez, and then yeah, he was kind of kicked to the curb in the bantamweight division. But I still think he has a lot to prove. I still think he's a very good fighter. I still think he might be top five in that division. He just beat Charlie Valencia, finished him, rear naked choke, looked darn good there. So, I think he's getting his career back on track. And you know what? Antonio Benuelos, although a very good wrestler, and I'm pretty sure he's going to want to, get this thing to the ground. I still think someone like Miguel Angel Torres is good enough wrestling defense, keep this thing standing, and he's going to employ his technical striking. I think he'll beat someone like Banuelos to the punch, although Banuelos is a good boxer. I still think Miguel Angel Torres is quicker with his hands. I think he'll use good, lateral movement, move around, move from side to side, avoid big shots from someone like Banuelos, and avoid being taken down. I'm pretty sure he will get taken down, but I think he'll do enough to negate most of the takedowns. And if he is taken down, I'm pretty sure he can, scramble and maybe sweep and gain top control, or just get back up. Who knows? We'll see. But I'm gonna say that someone like Miguel Angel Torres, picks Antonio Benuelos apart on the feet, beat him to the punch, and yeah, just be the better technical striker. Antonio Benuelos, very good chin. I'm gonna give him credit, so I'm just gonna say Miguel Angel Torres wins via unanimous decision. All right, guys. Now let's take a look at the next matchup, which is a very compelling matchup for the light heavyweight division. Yes, I'm talking about the match between John Jones and Ryan Bader, two prospects fighting for who's basically the best young gun in the light heavyweight division. The winner of this probably faces someone in the top five. So you know what? There's a lot at stake for this matchup for each guy. And yeah, this will shake things up in the light heavyweight division for sure. So you know what? One of these guys is basically getting the axe in terms of who's going up and who's going down. John Jones, let's take a look at him first. Very unorthodox striker. This guy's he has good hands, good kicks, good knees. He has elbows for days. Wow. So yeah, this guy's very dangerous as a stand-up fighter. Uses good lateral movement, has spinning back kicks, spinning back fists, spinning back elbows. This guy is, it's like watching a video game character on easy mode. This guy makes people look silly. As simple as that. I'd say he has good cardio. We haven't exactly seen it lately, considering he's been finishing dudes. But yeah, he's also a very good ground fighter for the most part. I'm pretty sure he stays out of submissions pretty well, and I'm pretty sure he has some of his own working with Jackson's camp. And yeah, his wrestling ability is pretty darn good. Good freestyle wrestler, good Greco-Roman, and yeah, for the most part, he doesn't get taken down. I don't think he has been yet ever. So who knows? But someone who will take him down, if someone is going to, it's Ryan Bader. Ryan Bader, Division One wrestler, very good wrestler, very good takedowns, scary ground and pound, and he throws some heat. I don't know. I like the way he fights a lot. For that, I'm a very big fan of his. Now, Ryan Bader has not seen someone like John Jones, and most people haven't seen someone like John Jones in terms of fighting him. I think John Jones presents a lot of problems for Ryan Bader. For example, uh, guy who can sprawl and brawl, and sprawl and brawl really well, sprawl really well, avoid your takedowns, stuff them, and kick your ass on your feet. A lot of people are picking Big Nog to do that with Ryan Bader, but that didn't exactly happen. Now, Ryan Bader's technical striking was exploited in that match, and since I think John Jones has better takedown defense than Little Nog, and I think he's a better technical striker than Little Nog, I think he can do some damage to Ryan Bader, sadly. So I'm actually going to say John Jones wins this in three. For the most part, stuffs most of Ryan Bader's takedowns, and pick him apart on feet, be quicker to punch, use the reach, and yeah, avoid big shots from Ryan Bader by using good head movement, moving around laterally, and yeah, just avoiding big shots. That's about it. Ryan Bader is a one trick pony. He really is. I like the way he fights though, but I think John Jones has the perfect style to beat him, and I think that's what's gonna happen. I give Ryan Bader's chin a lot of credit though, so I'm gonna say that he only loses by unanimous D. I'm gonna say John Jones maybe gets a 10-8 round. Who knows? But I'm gonna say 10-9s across the board, so 30-27 for John Jones. All right, guys. Next matchup, which I actually like a lot, is between Jake Ellenberger and Carlos Eduardo Rocha. Two very different fighters, and yeah, this could determine who faces someone in the top 10 in welterweight. So yeah, there's a decent amount of things at stake here. Carlos Eduardo Rocha, I would consider a prospect at welterweight. He beat Chris McRae in Germany, if you guys remember that. Chris McRae, obviously part German, and then we have Carlos Eduardo Rocha. And a lot of people don't know this, but he's also half German as well. So for him to win on German soil was pretty cool to see. And yeah, he did it in dominating fashion, submitting Chris McRae in the first round via armbar, I believe. So very impressive win there. And then we have someone in Jake Ellenberger, the juggernaut. I like the way this guy fights too. Yeah, kind of just picks you up, drops you, beats you up, and yeah, he throws some heat, and he has some good submissions as well. And for the most part, stays out of submissions as well. Carlos Eduardo Rocha, he is a one-trick pony, just a submissions dude. Can he submit Jake Ellenberger? I actually think he can. I don't see Jake Ellenberger knocking Eduardo Rocha out on the feet. I think this somehow hits the ground. I don't know how, but when that happens, I think Carlos Eduardo Rocha will pull off a submission. I'm not sure if that's an upset pick. I think that, I guess, is. Jake Ellenberger is a very good fighter, and he's on a hot streak. But I'm just going to say Brazilian shocks the American wrestler, kind of like the Falcao bout over Gerald Harris. But I don't think Jake Ellenberger is getting cut if he loses. But I'm going to go ahead and pick Carlos Eduardo Rocha. Not sure if it's an upset. I don't pick him. I don't pick upsets a lot, but I'm gonna say this is. I'm gonna say he submits Jake Ellenberger. I think this gets to the ground in a hurry in the first, and yeah, he wins via submission. So I'm gonna say he wins via guillotine, and yeah, mid to late first round. So Carlos Eduardo Rocha. All right, y'all. The next matchup is in light heavyweight. It is between former light heavyweight kingpin in Forrest Griffin and the former middleweight kingpin in Rich Franklin. Rich Franklin, he normally bounces around middleweight and light heavyweight. You never know where he's at as of right now. He is fighting light heavyweight since the Chuck Liddell bout. He did KO Chuck Liddell and essentially retired him. And yeah, what can I say about Rich Franklin's skills? Very good boxer, decent power. Um, uses good lateral movement. Yeah, overall a pretty solid technical striker. Good head movement. Decent jiu-jitsu as well. He's been working for George Gurgel for many years now, so you know what, he should be very very versed in submissions and avoiding them. I don't think they're going to do much ground fighting as good as a ground fighter Forrest Griffin is. I would say he has very underrated jiu-jitsu. He is a decent boxer, takes a lot of punishment though, likes to brawl, and he has pretty darn good leg kicks. I don't see this being employed in this matchup though, because I think this might end early. That's just my opinion. But yeah, Forrest likes to brawl, and he sometimes is on the short end of the stick. Uh, Yeah, it's just I don't think Forrest is, he can hang with the best of the strikers, although that's what he likes to do. You know what? A lot of people have Forrest Griffin as top five in the world. I don't. This is why I don't think a lot of people in the top 10 would lose to him. So I don't think he should be on my list. That's just my opinion. That's preference. I know he has wins over Rampage and Shogun. The thing is that if they were to happen, if those fights were to happen again, I would not pick Forrest Griffin on either of those. I think the best Rampage beats the best Forrest. I think the best Shogun beats the best Forrest. So, that being said, he should be below him, and he is for anyone's list. That's fine. But the thing is that I don't think he can beat anyone below him on most people's top 10 list. So I can't put him on there. Now, I know a lot of people factor in record into making their lists. That's fine. But if you do so, remember, you're basically saying, based upon that record, you think that fighter is better than the fighter below him. So I can't do that. You know what I mean? Um, so I'm just saying, like, there might be someone with a worse record than Forrest Griffin on top 10 list, and he's below him. But you know what? If you don't think Forrest Griffin can beat him, Forrest Griffin should not be above him. That's my point. I don't think Forrest Griffin could beat several light heavyweights. I'll name some: Ryan Bader, John Jones, Little Nog, Gegard Mousasi, King Mo, Fei Zhao, Dan Henderson. I think all those guys would beat him, and that's why I'd rank all those guys ahead of him. So I can't exactly give Forrest Griffin love there. Now, you know what? He might shock me if he beat Rich Franklin, and I think it would be for me shocking if he does it because I just don't see where he wins this fight. Forrest Griffin, like I said, is not a technical striker. Rich Franklin is. And I think Rich Franklin hits harder. So Rich Franklin can either end this early, or if this goes to the cards, I think Rich Franklin might steal at least 2 rounds. That's just what I think. I don't see this hitting the ground much because I'm pretty sure someone like Forrest wants to throw a show on for the fans. So you know what? I just don't see it happening. And because of that, I give the stand-up department to Rich. So I think Rich is going to have his number there. And like I said, he's going to beat Forrest Griffin via tactical striking, you know, keep Forrest at bay. Uh, the reach is about the same, but Rich is going to move in and out of the pocket, tee off when he can, beat Forrest to the punch, take the least amount of damage, and I just see Rich Franklin winning this fight, and he will show you guys why Forrest Griffin is not top 10. Hope Rich wins, so he makes me look good. But yeah, that's just my opinion again, guys. So sorry if you don't agree with me. All right, guys. Next bout, it is between Anderson Silva and Vitor Belfort. Of course, this is the main event, and it is for Anderson Silva's UFC middleweight championship. Now, Anderson's had the belt for the longest time now. He is the greatest middleweight in history. No one can dispute that. Like, it's not an opinion; it's almost a fact. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Anderson is the best. What can we say? Now, that being said, he hasn't faced someone like Vitor. Vitor presents a lot of problems to a lot of fighters, but to Anderson, I don't think presents much of a problem. That's just my opinion. I think Vitor, he's a very good boxer, has good jiu-jitsu, um, good takedowns if he uses them. But you know what? This guy prefers to slug it out and just fire away. You know what I mean? This guy's primarily a boxer in MMA. He does have cardio issues because he likes to expend most of his energy early. And if he doesn't finish you, usually he gets finished later in the fight. But the thing is that I don't see Vitor having much success here. Anderson has the reach, and I actually think Anderson's a way better striker. Anderson Silva might even rival his power. There's no doubt in my mind that Anderson Silva could knock out someone like Vitor Belfort. Randy Couture can knock out Vitor Belfort twice. I have no doubt in my mind Anderson Silva can as well. I think Anderson Silva is just as devastating as Randy Couture in the clinch, and I think he's more dangerous than Randy Couture in the clinch. Randy Couture was dirty boxing, whatever. Anderson Silva is going to knee the shit out of you. It happened to Rich Franklin twice. I can easily see it happen to Vitor, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Anderson's going to keep Vitor at bay, and technically strike the shit out of Vitor. Use good head movement like Anderson always does. Dancing around and shit, and I think that he's just going to move around, use good lateral movement, tee off on Vitor when he has the right angles to, don't allow Vitor to hit those big shots by moving side to side. And I think that he's just going to use a combination of kicks, punches, elbows, knees, whatever he can to just keep Vitor from surmounting any offense. I think Anderson does that really efficiently and really easily. I think he takes this one in the second round, and I'm going to say he wins via TKO. I'm going to say knees and punches. I'm just going to say Anderson's going to beat him up on the feet. Eventually, Vitor gets frustrated and comes forward. Anderson somehow closes distance and gets this thing in the clinch, knees the shit out of Vitor, and eventually drops him, and then punches the shit out of him until Herb Dean decides to stop it or whoever is reffing. So I'm going to say Anderson Silva wins via knees and punches TKO in mid of the second round. All right, guys. Now that about does it for my main card picks of UFC 126, Silva versus Belfort. Like I said already, I don't think the main event is going to be much of a fight. I think Anderson's gonna handle him easily. That's just what I think. I am biased. I'm an Anderson Silva fan, but just seeing what Vitor presents for Anderson, I just don't see how he surmounts any legitimate offense. That's about it. Chael Sonnen was able to hit Anderson Silva because Anderson Silva was wary of the takedown. Plus, I think Anderson Silva took it easy on him. This is some guy he's not going to take easy because Vitor has knockout power. So remember that. I actually think we're going to see one of the better Anderson Silvas we've ever seen. So that's what I think, guys. It's about it for my main card picks. Again, thank you for subscribing and viewing and commenting and doing what you guys do. You guys are awesome. You guys are the reason I do this. So I hope you guys enjoy the card. And yeah, if you guys haven't checked out my Strikeforce picks, please do so. And yeah, my MMA awards. I don't know. I worked really hard on those MMA awards. I am pretty happy about it. So if you guys want to tell me what you guys think there too, that'd be awesome. But yeah, again, take care. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the card. Love you guys, and peace.